Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Al.
Kevin, we're back, baby.
They
This is the
said
first
they
episode
said
back,
we
right?
couldn't do it, Kevin. They said we couldn't do it. We said we couldn't go on a
Uh,
break and come back because no one
the
goes on
they
a
being
break and then
you,
comes
I think,
back.
primarily.
No, everyone, nobody believed in me. I'm But here we are. We're back, and here we are here today to talk about so many cottagecore games.
Oh, a lot. Like they doubled it in the last 5 minutes. Woo.
Woo! Like so many that I think some might just be, that's a game, moving on. We'll
Well,
see.
probably a lot of them.
We'll see.
We're talking about the Wholesome Direct, everyone.
We are here today to talk about the Wholesome Direct specifically and a bunch of stuff in that. Not everything because it was an hour long. And if we talked about everything in an hour long presentation, we would probably be here all day. And it's already 8:30 at night.
And we don't have enough to talk about it because we don't care about all of them.
That's also true. So we're going to talk about that. We do have one piece of news that I want to cover before that. Um, and before that, we're going to talk about what we've been up to. But first of all, Kevin, we've got feedback.
Oh,
This is being sent in by Katie, listener of the show. I have been listening to the
uh-oh.
podcast for some time now, and it's a highlight of my week. Not the last two
When did
weeks,
we
though.
ruin it
Sorry.
for her?
I really enjoy hearing your honest and sometimes brutal opinions on games, and I especially enjoy how positive and how much energy Kev has on his solo episodes. Keep up the amazing work. There we go, Kevin. You got a shout out.
Okay, I'm trying to refrain from, being sarcastic or whatever, putting myself down, but thank you very much. Sincerely, that means a lot. I have a lot of practice talking to myself. I think that's what it is in my headspace. Now I just put a mic in front of it. But
I
that's lovely.
I feel like the brutal opinions on games has to be talking about Sugar Dew Island, right?
Oh, I feel like there's a number of episodes we could point to, including
That
the
is the
ones we
particularly bad
like.
one. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, thank you, Katie, for the feedback. If you too want to send feedback, you can do it on the website, harvestseason.club. Um, that is, there's a feedback form there. You can
Yeah.
send us
All
more and you'll
right.
get a mention on the podcast. Woo!
You'd like right now. Yay. Thank you, Katie. Very much appreciated.
Next, Kevin, what have you been up to?
Oh boy, where do well, my internet has been out for a week, so let's start with that.
That's unfortunate.
Yep, it's been a headache. But here I am, using not working internet. Um, but that's kind of affected a lot of my gameplay because
Mm.
so I didn't realize just how many of my games are like online only, or have to connect to servers or whatever. Like Zenless Zone Zero has a 2.0 update. I haven't played that. Marvel Snap, I don't get that many games in this week. My phone's dying, so it can't, for whatever reason, Snap just crashes on it now. So I have to pretty much play on PC these days. Um, but Unite is gone, so on and so forth. The one game I have been playing though, Unicorn Overlord. Are you familiar with
Uh,
that, Al?
I am. I'm a
Okay.
familiar with it.
Oh man, it's so I picked it up on sale. It was like 30 USD, which is pretty cheap for a game of this size. Um, it's for people unfamiliar. It's a strategy real-time game, like Fire Emblem, but real-time. And good heavens, this game does all the things I like in a game. Um, okay, so have you ever played a Fire Emblem, Al?
No.
Okay, but I assume you're familiar with the concept. It's super
Yeah.
chess, right? With your,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So, like I
They've all got
said,
swords. That's what I'm aware of.
that's correct. And Unicorn Overlord also has swords. Actually, Unicorn Overlord has a lot of Fire Emblem stuff. It's very much like an homage slash love letter to a lot of strategy games, Fire Emblem included. So it has a lot of the elements borrowed from that. Or like I said, it feels less like trying to knock them off and more like an homage slash love letter. Um, anyway, so unlike Fire Emblem, which is grid based, this is not grid based. It's real time. You just send your units point A to point B, and they'll travel as close to a straight line as they can. Uh, Also, they in Fire Emblem, each character is a single unit. In this game, you assemble teams of up to 5 characters in one unit with a front row and a back row. So all of a sudden, the complexity is through the roof, and it's really enjoyable, in my opinion. Right? You got tanks in front, archers in the back, so on and so forth. Um, and each character, you can load them out with different equipment, skills, and stuff. In Fire Emblem, like every character gets like 2 or 3 items that do them just stats basically. But in this one, you can change their move sets. So there's like layers and layers and layers of complexity, which is really really good. Um, yeah, I really really like this game. I'm at 60 hours so far.
Fair enough.
Get it. No internet, so I'm just crushing it. But it's the art's really nice, very very pretty. But overall, great stuff. Yeah, but that's kind of the big thing I've been up to. Um, all right, Al, what about you? Tell the poor pleb about the Switch 2.
The Switch 2? What? What are you talking about? Yes, yes, I've got the Switch 2 and I've been playing Mario Kart World. Uh, I haven't had a huge amount of time on it yet. As we are talking, I was away. I was not at home when the Switch 2 came out on Thursday, and it was delivered to my home. I didn't get back till Saturday evening, and so that's about 24 hours ago as of now. So yeah, I've not had a huge amount of time, especially as obviously I had to set it up, and I have kids and a life, and I can't just always play the game. But I have put in a couple hours into it, both myself and me and my son playing it together, and it's fun. I enjoy it. What I will say is that I love a lot of the. It's a lot more reactive in terms of like your character does a lot more while playing, which makes it feel a lot more real, right? Like there
Like,
are more reactions to things, and so it's
go
really
ahead.
hard to explain, but there's just lots of little things that they do that make it feel real. The animations are all more detailed. When you hit a car, you don't now just like stop in the same way that you do when hit by a weapon. You like get knocked to the side, and you can actually there was one today where I was like hit it in such a way that I actually just ended up going up on two wheels and continuing to move. Um,
What?
yeah, exactly. So there's just lots of little things like that. You don't. Whereas in Mario Kart 8, if you hit a vehicle, no matter how you hit it,
You do the
you would just stop.
somersault,
Yeah, exactly. You
yeah,
just
or
do the
whatever.
standard.
Yeah,
I've been hit by something. I have now
yeah.
stopped. Whereas that's not necessary. If you hit it like straight on, you will slow down and spin off to the side. But if you hit it in certain ways, you can actually just keep going. It's really it just depends on exactly how you hit it, which makes it a lot more fun, I think. And different weapons do different things depending on where they hit you and how they hit you and stuff like that, which
Really, that's
it,
fascinating.
it is. It is. It's really interesting. And it just, yeah, just the animations, like you feel like the character moves independently of the vehicle. It doesn't just feel like you are one
Wow.
model, stuff
That's
like
the
that.
power of the Switch too.
Or is it the power of like 10 years of developing the next Mario Kart game?
No, no. This wasn't possible on the Switch 1. Impossible, absolutely.
Um, And
Um,
I also like how one of the things about this game is obviously you're just choosing a cart rather than like choosing the body and the wheels and
right.
the what's it called, parachute. Um,
Yeah.
I quite like that because there's less for you to have to think about. But what I do like is that each of the carts look slightly different depending on the character.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's not just like the base cart, the Mario cart, that if you're Mario, it's red with the M on it. If you're Luigi, it's green with the L on it. Like if you're the cow, it's grey with the cow face on it. But all the other
That's
vehicles
awesome.
have like
Hmm.
slight changes depending on on like they have slight different colors and different decals and stuff like that. All of them do, not just that one, which is quite fun.
Wow, that's impressive. Genuinely, like, wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's
they've put
attention to detail.
a lot of attention to detail in this game, a lot of effort. Really it's really fun. Some things are going to take some getting used to. Like the controls are obviously slightly different. The thing that's knocking me off a lot is in 8 and before, if you wanted to hold like a shell or a banana behind you, you would have to hold down the fire
Hmm.
button. Whereas
Yeah.
now it's that happens by default. So as soon as you have it in the priority slot, it is
Okay.
behind you. And then
Huh. I
if you
think.
press it and hold it, it will just fire it. So
Okay.
I've spent a lot of time accidentally firing things because I was trying to have them behind me. But that's just you'll get used to it and eventually you'll stop doing
Sure,
that.
sure.
But
I
yeah,
feel like at least one other Mario Kart did that, but it's not as common at the very
possibly.
least. Or regardless, it's been what, 10 years with our Mario
Well,
Kart 8.
that's the thing. Like, do I remember how things before 8 actually worked? No, I do not.
That's how
I'm not
video game
Nadia. I don't go
historians.
back and play old Mario Karts all the time, right? That's not my
Yeah,
life.
yeah. No, that's fair. That's how video game historians chronicle things in the BMK8 era or the AMK8 era. Um, but that's good stuff. Okay, how's the free driving world?
I haven't done any of that yet. I've just been playing Grand Prix. Um,
Mm.
I will
Well, I mean,
say,
but
uh,
you have between the races now, right? Like
so
that's you
yeah.
feel a taste of it.
So I think no is how I'll say it is not. It is not like what I think free roam will be at all. It's not. You're not really driving between the courses. How it is yes, you are driving. Like you start on the finish line of the previous course, and then the first lap is to the starting line of the next course, and then you got the second and third laps are on the course. It depends on what course it is. Like some of them are shorter, like Baby Park, and you actually have like then multiple laps around it, or a lot of them aren't just like a single loop that you do a certain number of times. A lot of them are like the ones where you just have one long course that you do different sections of. It just depends on what it is. I don't really like it. I
Hmm.
personally would just prefer the standard. You've got your three courses and you do your three laps or however many laps.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
the driving between it just feels kind of tacked on, and it almost
Hmm.
feels like they wanted the open world thing. And sure, fine. I don't. I've not tried it yet, but I can imagine it be interesting. But the you must drive between the courses. The bit that is between the courses feels pretty generic and boring, or it just
Hmm.
feels like the previous course that you just finished. And you're like, I don't understand why I'm still doing this course when I'm on the next course. And it doesn't. The other thing that I found a bit weird was it doesn't start straight away. Like once you hit the finish line, you go into like, oh, here's the rankings, and then you have to
Yeah,
start it again, and then because you're starting again, you're starting on the finish line, and it just feels like that's a weird jarring thing. It's like, oh, you finished that
yeah,
race, now let's start the next race on this point, like where you just finished. Like it feels like an idea that someone had and then they went, yeah, let's do that, but they never really did anything with it. And it almost would have
mm,
felt more realistic or more interesting if it just the race hadn't stopped at any point, or
hmm,
maybe if you have to wait for everyone else to get there, like if you just like stayed in position at that point
yeah,
and
and
waited
that
for
would
everyone
kind
to
of
catch up. But the fact that it goes like, oh, now we're gonna like cut to this other screen like they do in previous
hmm,
Mario Karts where you show the rankings, it almost defeats the purpose of then driving between the two courses. It's like, well, what
yeah.
happened? What happened in that time? Because now I'm back on the finish line. Like it just
That's so weird to me because yeah, that doesn't from the way it was described, like that would have been, what I would have thought, right? Like you there, you hit the finish line and then you just keep driving and maybe ranking is on the side or something.
100% what I
Uh,
expected. And I guess the
That's
reason they don't do
wild.
that is they want everyone to catch up so that you're all starting at the same time for the next race. Sure,
But
fine,
okay.
but what like I feel like you could have done that transition better,
Yeah,
right?
but what's the point? Like that's baffling to me.
I don't
Um,
I understand why they want something like this. It feels like it's another mode and
hmm
I feel like they should have kept Grand Prix as it was, and then this
Yeah.
was like a new type of tour, right?
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
A grand
Absolutely.
tour instead of a Grand Prix,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
it
There
just
you go.
I'm not saying this is bad. I'm saying like I don't like that this is instead of what we had before.
Right, right. I get that. Yeah, from what you're describing, it doesn't yeah, it sounds like they fumbled that execution just a little bit. And if you're no, you're completely removing the standard Grand Prix for that, like
Exactly.
that's a problem. That's
Exactly.
rough.
Exactly.
Um, well, we'll see.
We
Like,
we will see. We will see.
I mean, I personally think we're going to get DLCs that are just gonna be standard Grand Prix type modes
Interesting.
because,
I can't see them not doing DLC for this.
right, exactly,
Mate,
right.
for two reasons. One, they did two sets of DLC for the previous game, and
hmm
two, uh,
And DLC for the remastered version of the game that has
well, that's yeah,
DLC.
that was the second one. But anyway,
Yeah.
secondly, I it doesn't feel like there's enough races because
hmm
you have like eight, and eight doesn't feel like enough to me. Um,
Not anymore.
I'm not regretting buying the game,
Yeah,
especially because I got it in the bundle, right? But
right.
I totally get why people are like, oh, that feels like a lot of money for eight Grand Prix. Um, Especially when like
hmm
the preview, like I'm not expecting it necessarily will be free DLC, and obviously people will complain about that, right? They're like, oh, you're
Yeah.
charging us $80, and then you're also charging us more courses.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
could see the DLC being reasonably cheap, and it's just like $10 or
Sure.
whatever, right?
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I suspect too.
but it
I
just yeah, eight just feels
mhm.
eight isn't even as many as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had. Eight Deluxe had 10.
Yeah,
And so eight
yeah,
had eight, of course. Um,
yeah.
Mario Kart 8 had eight courses, and then they added on eight Grand Prix, sorry, and then they added on two, I think, for DLC
DLC, that's
initially.
correct.
And then that
Yeah.
was all bundled together as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So Mario Kart 8
And then
Deluxe had
they
10,
doubled the
and
number.
then they doubled in the other DLC, yeah. So it just feels a little bit meh that we've not even got as many races as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
And then this is more expensive.
Yeah,
None of that feels good.
that's fair, right? Like it's I think the pain point is just this the way you've described how they fumbled the new Grand Prix version, right? Because like I could live with 8 cups or whatever if it was the standard Grand Prix that you could just do ad nauseum like other Mario Karts and it'd be fine. Um, but if you're replacing that and giving something that feels a little worse or a little awkward, yeah, it's going to be rough.
And
Um,
let me point out the courses are really good.
sure, yeah. Are there
Like
any new ones you're fond of that you've seen so far?
the one I particularly like, obviously I've not done them all. Um, I've not done them all yet, but the one that I'm particularly enjoying is the Donkey Kong one. I can't remember what it's called.
Hmm. Is I don't know which one because there's obviously been a handful, or if
Yeah,
it's a
let me
new one.
check.
But
I think it's a new one.
okay.
DK Spaceport.
Oh yeah, they showed that one in the trailers. Yeah, that one looked cool.
That
Hmm.
I think is really fun. You're essentially it's one of the ones that's not like laps. It's one specific course, and you end at the end. And what I really
hmm
like it is you're essentially going through a Donkey Kong level, right? Like you're going up this
Really, that's
course, and
cool.
then at the top is a robotic Donkey Kong throwing barrels down at you.
Oh,
Um,
that's so cool.
so I really like that. And there's like lots of stuff to avoid, and there's bouncy pads and stuff like yeah, it's good fun.
That's so cool. Man, I can't wait to check that out. But I mean, obviously we're nitpicking, but it's still Mario Kart, right? Like it's
Yeah,
still
I
the
don't
overall
regret it.
good.
I obviously bought the bundle,
Yeah.
but if I paid full price for this, I still wouldn't be regretting it. It is still really good
Yeah.
fun, and it's still gonna
Yeah.
sell like bonkers. Um,
Oh, absolutely. And
but
Cow is playable.
yeah, I mean, and Cow is one of the best characters to actually play as. It's one
Yeah.
of the meta characters. Um,
Wait, really?
it
That's
is, yeah.
hilarious. That's incredible.
Uh,
Oh,
so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
oh
I
yeah.
get why people might be frustrated with it.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I haven't tried everything in it yet, so I guess we'll see.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, that's awesome. Can't wait to hear more people. Like I haven't heard much about it, but like I'm obviously interested in the free roam mode or whatever. But good stuff. Uh, um, how was Vacation World? Not how was touching grass?
yeah, I wasn't really on holiday. I was still working. In fact,
Oh, were you?
I was working more than I normally do. I was just doing it
Oh,
in a different
that was
place.
me this week too.
But I didn't have my kids, so it was relaxing in some way. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
no, yeah, I had fun. It was a little bit frustrating on the Thursday at the end to be like, everyone's getting their Switch too, and mine's at home. I just can't get it.
Mm.
But it was only
Your
2 days. It was
Squidward
only 2 days.
and
Yeah.
Patrick and
Yeah, but
SpongeBob
it
outside.
wasn't even like it feels worse than the people who just weren't getting it, I feel, right? Because
Y-
like you're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's annoying and I don't have it and
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like I'm missing out. But like I
yeah.
was like, I have paid money and I have had one delivered to me. It's
I
just I
shouldn't
am
be
not
missing
where it
out.
is.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's funny. Yeah, obviously, I haven't gotten mine yet. I'll probably have, or well, not mine. I'm getting one for Calvin next week as a late birthday present.
Nice.
So I'll be able to join the ranks of people driving his cow and talking about it.
Um,
24 racers. That's insane.
It is, and
Like,
it does mean that you like, especially there's a lot of kind of I think they might need to do some rebalancing in terms of how things work, especially like the rubber banding and stuff like that. Because like
oh yeah.
if you don't get up to first place quickly, you're probably not going to stay there. Uh,
Oh, that's
the,
good.
the
Oh, that's
the
good
middle just
stuff.
feels absolutely insane just now.
I
So yeah,
can't. You know, back in the old days, there were 8 racers in a race.
yeah.
Oh, God, it's crazy to think like there are sub chunks with that many characters
You have to have
in a
two
race.
whole pages to view everyone.
The
Uh,
rankings. Oh my
yeah, no.
goodness. Oh, that's incredible.
Um,
Oh, good times.
the other thing I've tried out on my Switch 2 is Pokemon Violet, and let me tell you, right? Obviously, if you didn't like the game before, you're not gonna like the game suddenly now that
Right.
it's
Doesn't
running at a
fix a
decent
lot of
speed.
the core design issues, but
Exactly. It's still the same game, but
yeah.
my word, it's incredible. The frame rate and like everything. It's if you like the game, it is an
Hmm.
incredible upgrade. Just so
Yeah.
good. And I'm
Yeah,
not
I'll
gonna.
say.
I like. I'm. It drives me insane whenever I see anyone talking about this, and people will reply and be like, "Oh, it's $500 to get the game how it should be." I don't. Shut up. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you don't like it. Don't play it. Don't buy this. Shut up. Right? Like, let me enjoy the fact that this game now runs incredibly. And you know what I'm most excited for with this is how well I think the new game's going to run because there's no way it'll run worse than this, right? Because
Well,
well, no,
well.
no, no. Let me. So my point is, right? Like it is a clearly a much more small and focused world, right? And one of the big issues of this game was the fact that the world is like all loaded at once,
Oh, you're talking
and
about
that
ZA. I thought
yeah,
you
yeah.
meant yeah, yeah.
Oh
Okay.
no,
Oh
no,
no.
I'm not even thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that just now. Not even thinking about
yeah.
that just
ZA
now.
is going to be great. Yeah, sure, 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 sure. Yeah, that's fine.
And so if this game runs this well, like surely that game will run just as well.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and it's going to be so good. And I think it looks better, right? Like a lot of the thing about this game is that it just
Hmm.
looks bland and meh.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
the character models don't look amazing in the new game, but I don't really care about that, right? Like everything else, in my opinion, looks a lot nicer. Kind of like the the bright colors in the night. I think the nighttime in particular is going to look really good in that game, especially
I
on the Switch
agree.
too.
Yeah. that is nice, right? Because like, okay, yeah, obviously we all know I'm a known Scarlet Violet disparager, dissenter, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm critical, just a little bit critical of the game.
For fair
Like you
reasons.
said,
I'm not,
yeah,
I've never said that your reasons are not, they're totally
yeah,
fair reasons.
yeah, yeah. And like, there's a lot of design choices I don't like, other people might like, and obviously, like you said, it's not fixing those issues, but like I think just how poorly that like I'm a Nintendo fan, I'm a Pokemon fan. I don't care about technical stuff, generally speaking, right? But like it was just so bad that even
Mhm,
even for someone like me, it felt
mhm,
embarrassing. Like
mhm.
it was rough. So it's nice to have at least
No
that
one
improved.
no one defends it, right? Like
No,
with other games like Legends, like some of us are like, actually I like how it looks, right? Like
yeah,
I think that a lot of that is down to taste. But
sure.
with the performance issues in this game, it was just embarrassing. Nobody
It was
justified it. And if anybody
no,
even tried to, you'd be like, come on, like, let's be
yeah,
real here. You can
yeah,
like the game and still admit how terrible the performance is. Whereas now
yep.
it's just buttery smooth.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen clips online. It's wild the difference. I genuinely did not think it would upgrade that much.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's handheld as well, not even docked. In
that's
handheld,
crazy.
it feels incredible.
Um, bit important question. Have you tried the raids?
I
Because
have
that
not.
was okay. Because I mean,
I,
it's great the world runs right and all, but the raids, like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm not convinced it's going to make a massive difference to raids because I think a lot of the issue with raids was the internet communication.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
like,
But I was curious.
but I
Like,
don't. Yeah, I don't tend to do raids a huge amount. I do them when there's a 7 star out, and
yeah,
if possible, I do them as a solo build, so I don't have to deal
mm-hmm.
with other people. Um,
Yeah, no, that's fair. Um, but yeah, that's because if raids were good, like I genuinely might be tempted to look and consider another playthrough to give it a second chance on Switch too. But
mhm.
anyways, not that I'll have one for a while, but no. um, anyways,
Well,
that's
we'll
good
see.
stuff.
We'll see.
Um, that's nice, and yeah, good on you, Pokemon team, for putting the effort to make that happen.
Yeah, I
Um,
clearly like I wonder whether they'd been working on this before the game came out or whether this is in reaction to the game coming out and being terrible. Um, like what? Because they did tell us like, oh, we hear you and we understand. And the
yeah.
question is, was that the point where they go, oh, we can't just like let this go. Like this is something we actually need to deal with. And then obviously they've gone like decision made. Do we try it our best to make it work as well on the Switch, or do we
Mm-hmm.
just take all of the nonsense that we're going to get for the next 2.5 years and then
Mm-hmm.
throw it all on the Switch 2 and hope that we gain back the positives for that? I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, right? Like that is
Yeah.
that's a decent like that timeline works, right?
Yeah.
That's more
Absolutely.
than 2 years. I could absolutely
Mm-hmm.
see that they hadn't even considered this until the reception was so bad, and then they've gone, you know what, we do need to deal with
Yeah.
this, and they had a
Also,
small team dealing with that for the last couple of years.
sure. I'll say that they probably, whenever they found out Switch 2 upgrades were going to happen, which I imagine was relatively early,
Yeah,
I imagine they were planning one for Scarlet Violet. I don't see a version where they weren't going to do that. What I don't think is, I don't think they were going to put in the effort they did for this, because that I think was reactionary. Because I think they wanted to, try to clean up their act. If it had come out not as good, or if the original game had come out better,
yeah.
I don't think it would have been this huge of a jump, because they
Well,
probably
yeah,
just,
yeah. I mean,
you
because it
know,
would have been
yeah,
better.
yeah, well, yeah,
I don't know.
well, that's
Yeah, I
true.
do
But
feel like
they wouldn't have put
I,
the effort. You know what
I
I mean?
I do think a lot of this is like we need to make sure people actually buy our next game.
Yeah,
Let's show
yeah,
them that we can actually make a good game or a smooth no, okay, a well-performing game. Um
yeah,
and I think that's probably has done a lot to
yeah,
improve people's view on things, right? Like people who
yeah.
were you were probably worried about the next game, right?
Yeah. Well, hey,
And
like I make all the jokes about, we could, Gen 10 could fail or, or whatever, but maybe this is actually a sign that they're actually trying to, they're going to try to double down or, put in the effort to make sure it really comes out.
yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, but okay. Good stuff. That's really nice to know. The power of the Switch too.
It's good fun. All right. We have one piece of news that I want to talk about before we just go through the Wholesome Direct stuff that we want to
All
talk
right, what
about.
is it? What is it?
Snacko,
What is
Snacko decided
that's
that
the cat game.
just after we released our last episode 2 weeks ago, they decided they were going to release their 1.0.
That's
Just shadow
correct.
drop it.
That's how this works in this podcast world. Things happen as soon as you take a break.
And I'm not even joking.
That
This was a legitimate shadow drop. Like I saw the Steam news about Snacko 1.0, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Did I miss something? And then I looked through everything, and nope, I did not miss anything. This was just
tempting you.
surprise. Here you go. Here's the new, here's 1.0. So there we go. Snacko 1.0. It's probably finally time for me to play this game again.
Probably. I'm just looking at it. It looks nice. Um, yeah, that's their little like pixely 2D, 3D thing. It looks nice. And the cat's very cute. Um, yeah, good for you, Snaggle. You made it to 1.0. Like, that's always a genuine cause for celebration, assuming it's a real 1.0 and not one of those 1.0s. Yeah, it's kind of 1.0, but not really because we still have a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't make it in
Yeah.
yet.
I think they've got more updates coming, but it feels like it looks like it's extra stuff. But having said that, I haven't played through it,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, I know. But I'm just saying we all know those games out there that the 1.0
Yep.
really should not have been a 1.0.
Yep. 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 We do. We do. It
But
doesn't feel, from what I know about the game and the developers, it
yeah.
doesn't feel like something they would do.
Yeah, from
I
what, yeah,
don't feel
like
like they
I
would
also
just go, here we
agree.
go, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Very cute game. Always has been cute, still cute. I might be interested in oh, there's a demo. I'll download that demo at the very least. Good for you, Snacko.
All right, let's talk about the Wholesome Direct then. Um,
Okay, okay. Before we get into because obviously we got our list. I want to comment on the presentation
go for it.
because man, an hour straight of wholesome and cozy. Oh, it's a little much.
Yeah.
And obviously that's the nature of the beast. But I'm just look, I don't know how big Wholesome Games their operation is, right? And they're trying, right? Like they highlight so many streamers or content creators or whatever, and oh, good for you, little spotlight on these guys. But maybe just put a little more into that, right? Like every and again, just I'm not blaming any one streamer because but they all just happen to have the same, just color palette swap backgrounds of a shelf with plushies and some
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah. I definitely found that as well. The other thing that I found was like everybody talks in this calm voice.
ASMR. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like cozy games, right? First of all, it's not cozy games, it's wholesome direct, right? It's
Yeah, huh?
the whole point was
Yeah.
is like we want a place to show a bunch of games that are not just shooting zombies, right? Like, and
Yeah.
that is a totally
Yeah.
fair thing, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't that doesn't wholesome doesn't have to mean calm and quiet and trying to send you to sleep, which is I
Yeah.
definitely felt like it was. I don't know whether it's always been like this and I'm just getting annoyed with it or whether it's getting more like this. But yeah, I was
I,
absolutely the same. Every streamer was the exact same
yep.
voice and background, and I also think that there was a little bit weird in like having a different streamer to introduce every single game. Felt a bit
Yeah.
weird in that every time there was a streamer on, they were like, here's my name, here's my channel, here's what I do. And it was all the
Yeah.
same as well. It's like, oh, we do
Yeah.
everything cozy. And you're like, oh my word.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you are just the exact same as all the other ones we've just
Yep.
seen. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
it was, yeah, I agree. I'm glad you
And
felt the
again,
same because it was just too much
and
for me.
yeah, and again, I'm not blaming any one individual streamer
No,
because I'm sure they got their prompt and they did their thing and that's fine. But when you know the wholesome game people, when they were putting cutting and pasting all this together, somebody should have said, you know what, this might be a little much.
you get
But
it's the same with everything, right? Like it's when
yeah,
you watch a Nintendo Direct and you have the two hosts who make the same
yeah,
terrible jokes after every single game, you get annoyed
yeah,
about that.
yeah,
And when you
yeah.
have the Xbox showcase and like half of them are shooting zombies in the face, it's the same thing again. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, why are all these games the same?
Yep.
And why is the presentation so long and so like, I think maybe we need to spread these things out a little bit more in the year, right? Like let's not obsess over June for releasing game information. Do we really need to?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Or you know what? Well, no, wait, I'm trying to look up a year. Um, uh,
It's
uh,
2025.
yeah, not our year. I'm trying to look to the highest, the high bar of video game presentations. 2014, that's what it was. The Nintendo 2014 E3 presentation. That's the one where we had Iwata and Reggie fighting with
Mhm.
their DBZ fight with the amiibo. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, not every company is going to be able to produce goofy bits like that or whatever. But you know, the point is they tried, right? They put a little effort into the to presentation. And so you know, it'd be nice, right? What's crazy to me is some of these bits where like the streamers introducing game didn't even mention the game. They just said here's a world premiere.
Yeah, yeah, well, there is that.
But
I
anyways, I
I don't know.
digress.
I also think like the live ones are really annoying as well, right? Did you watch
Hmm.
the Friday's Summer Game Fest?
No, I haven't watched any of that. I've just
It was just
seen
really
the bids.
it was really awkward. I didn't like
Oh
it.
yeah.
And like there's something about Jeff Keighley that like I'm not saying he doesn't like games. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does like games. But the way he presents himself is corporate
Uh-huh.
stooge.
Yep. That's correct.
And I can't take him seriously. And it's like when there was a point where he was like, "Oh, some game was shown," and he was like, "Wow, looks great," and he moved on to the next thing. And I'm like,
Yeah,
"You
yeah.
did not sound sincere there. What are you on about?"
That's I think that's kind of underlying the point, right? You want to get somebody who's sincere about the presentation or whatever is being presented, right?
Which Reggie
Um,
did well. That was his
yes.
thing. Like he
Yeah.
he he was a corporate guy, and we all knew that, and we all
Yeah.
knew that he would like probably sell us if he could. But you also
Yeah.
got that he cared, and I don't know
Yeah.
whether that was real or not, but you definitely
I
believed that he cared.
Yeah, I'm right. I mean, I think he cared, but maybe that's just part of the whole thing he did. I don't know, but he like the important thing is he made us believe he cared, right? He could talk about his games like it sounded like someone who played the game or knew the game to whatever degree. And yeah, you're right. Like that's what we need. We just need people who know, who care, who are sincere. Like they'll even if it's just a blurb, you can feel that, right? So the point when long story short, I forget what the new one is. Wildflowers people call me. I'll do the blurb for your next one. I'll do it.
All
All
right,
right, let's get
let's
into
talk
it.
about some games then. I don't know if you've got anything else that you want to talk about other than the stuff that's in this list, because
Uh,
I think this is all the cottagecore related stuff
okay.
on my list.
There's here. Let me see if I can find just go to. I'll be looking up another
Let's go.
list.
Let's go
Like,
with it. So we started off with Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. No new real information, but there was a new
yeah.
trailer with some bits and pieces. And I'm going to be honest, I'm really excited about this game. I think I never played the original, obviously, and it
Mm-hmm.
does things a bit differently. So I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, it looks good. I'll say that. It looks like it has that, Nintendo seal of quality
Hmm.
story of seasons quality that they do. It looks good. I'll say that.
Next one that I wanted to talk about was Gourdlets Together. So it's a new Gourdlets game. It's a multiplayer Gourdlets game, which I feel like
Yeah.
is a fun thing to add into a Gourdlets game.
Yeah,
There,
it's
I guess the question is, does this feel like it should have been a separate game, or should it have been, an update to
another
Girdlets? I
mode.
don't know, but it
I
is
don't
what it
either.
is. I guess Girdlets was so cheap there. probably feels it feels a bit
It's
selfish to ask for anything more, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, it's true. Well, I could have seen that even for a paid DLC, but at that point, what's the difference? But yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's not appealing to me. Like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. But it's cool to see them, wanting to do this.
Yeah. It also feels I think it feels much it looks like it's much more uh character based rather than obviously the Girdlets was design based, like management style, whereas this I think looks like you're controlling a character because it's the multiplayer
Yeah, true.
aspect. So I'm thinking that might vibe with me more than the previous one.
Yeah, no, I can see that. That's fair.
Next, we got something that you'll be interested in, Luma Island, the pirate update.
Well, you know what? I do like pirates. You're right about that.
Oh, you
it
played?
it
Did you
looked.
not play Luma Island? Am I
I didn't play Luma
misremembering?
Island. No, that
Oh,
wasn't me.
I know Johnny did, but I thought you had done as well. Oh well.
No, I don't think. No, that wasn't me. But I
Well, the
do
Luma
like
Island
pirates.
pirate update is coming out on the 20th of June. So we already knew about the pirate update, but now we know that it's coming out next week, very soon.
There you go. It's pretty looking, I guess. I like pirates. I don't know.
We got a new trailer for Tales of the Shire as well.
Okay, like in the past week, I actually watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Oh,
and
nice.
like, dang man, what a legacy you have to live up to. Um, oh, e- e- okay. First off, did we have a date? Because we finally got a date, or is this the
We
first time?
did we did have a date.
Okay,
When they
okay, I don't
delayed it
remember.
from March, they gave us a date at that point. So
Okay,
yeah,
well, that's
this is still
soon.
what we were expecting.
I know it looks kind of like where it was at. I don't know what to say. Like I'm pretty sure the game is clear what it's gonna be. Um, and like as I watched the Lord of the Rings something and looking at this trailer, I'm thinking, I don't know if this is the one for me. Like I'm not the one who wants to live in a hobbit hole. I want to go out. I want to hang out with tree beers. That's what I want to do in Middle Earth.
Yeah. I'm a bit the same. I don't know what it is about this game that's not grabbing me because a Lord of the Rings Shire-based cottagecore game should be something that I would love, but I don't know. There's just it's not grabbed me in anything other than the
Yeah.
concept since it was announced.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? Is the concept going to be better than the game? Maybe. That's tough. Like I said, it's when you put the Lord of the Rings name on the box, you have made things so much harder for yourself because that's a lot of expectations on now. Um, but we'll see. Maybe when it comes out, it's actually incredible. I don't know. Gandalf looks very kawaii. I'll give them that. They give us little ubu Gandalf.
I think it's the character models that really confuse me. It's not that I
Yeah, they
hate
do
how
feel a
they
little weird.
look. I don't know. It's so hard to explain.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. It's something, just a little je ne sais quoi. I agree,
Not normally
but
used in a positive frame, not a negative frame, but fair enough.
yeah, but but we'll see. It's coming out soon, and maybe it'll surprise us still.
Next, we had a new game, Linked Banner of the Spark. Build a
Oh my
bright
goodness,
Build a bright new
this
world
game.
alongside a band of rescued robot buddies. In this colorful action RPG, battle waves of enemies in solo or co-op, then return home and use your parts to craft a thriving town. Assemble your crew and grow stronger with each new adventure. I mean, this is basically like Robot Cult of the Lamb, right? Like go out and get stuff and then save some creatures and then come back and build a town.
Yeah,
And Cult of the Lamb did it really well. So if it implements it well, I think this could be really good.
it looks so good to me. Like, oh man, because if I recall correctly, in the trailer show, there's still like some gardening or something like that, I think.
There's
But
definitely farming.
either,
I'm seeing a
yeah,
farming plot. It doesn't look like it's a
yeah,
big thing. It looks like it's relatively
yeah,
small, but it's definitely there.
yeah. But like it does it great because you have that, and then you have, you're throwing robots in there. Well, that can be different. number of ways, but the robot portion of it, it looks sick. Like you have a robot with knife hands. Like there's some that look, threatening or genuinely actiony. Um, there's robot fish. That's kind of fun. Um, I'm excited about this one. This one is high up on my list. It looks great. The gameplay looks like what I want. The world's colorful. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, I agree. Looks
All
really
right,
fun.
what's next that's not linked and thusly not as high on my list?
Milano's Odd Collection, Odd
Oh,
Job
well, that
Collection.
blew up in my face because I forgot. No, this one is high up on my list too.
This one is I think PlayStation style is what they're calling it. It's
Is I
PlayStation 1 style. Um it's a bunch of
you
mini
okay? You
games, I
got
guess.
I guess you've got 90s anime vibe.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of mini games like your character named Milano, and she's milking flying cows and serving food and doing stuff. Like I don't know, but oh, this is appealing to the weebs. This is a certain like 90s anime aesthetic that gets right to my heart. I'm excited, and you can decorate a house. um, yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Shocker. Kevin the Weeb is excited for a Japanese game.
Next we have Heidi's Legacy Mountains Calling, which by the way, what a terrible name.
Oh, is this the
That's
sheep
so
one?
bad.
The goat
So
one?
bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Yeah, yeah.
which stinks because it's such a unique looking game, right? It has, in my opinion, a great looking art style, or at least very
Yeah.
distinctive, because it's kind of Paper Mario-y, where like the characters look a little flat in the 3D world, but it's almost like storybook, maybe I would say, because it's like a more detailed, realistic art style than the cartoony Paper Mario. You're taking care of goats and doing stuff. It's a very pretty game, but you're right, that's an awful name.
Yeah, it reminds me the graphics and the gameplay style. It reminds me a lot of a Highland Song, which is
Hmm.
the one about climbing mountains.
Yeah.
It just in that kind of like it's 2D, but you kind of like there's multiple layers to it, so you can like you can appear in
Yeah.
a back bit of the place where you were previously in a front bit, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's interesting. I hate the name. I feel like you could have easily simplified it to like if you'd gone Heidi's Mountain, it gives you everything you want from there, right? Like I just like there's so many
Yeah.
other anyway. It's such a long. Nobody's ever going to remember that whole name. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and you usually save, the colon subtitle for like a sequel or something, right? Why, you don't need to
yeah,
open with that.
exactly. Um, yeah, no, it looks interesting. It's definitely farming based. There's a lot of farming, a lot of different farming things there. There's because you've got the animals, and then you have to like do other things. There is some gardening type thing with mushrooms and stuff like that. You have to take care of the goats. You have to milk the goats. You have
Hmm.
to play with the goats. There's a shop. It looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. It caught my eye, that's for sure. It's a pretty game, if nothing else. Um, all right, what's next?
Hotel Galactic have announced that their
You know
early
what?
access is coming the 24th of July.
Golf clap for the Wholesome Direct. It took them that long to reach a Studio Ghibli inspired game. Almost an hour in. Good for them. They held off. But yeah, it, it's uh, it's Spirited Away. That's the one. You like Spirited Away? Here's a game for you.
I do like the visual of the like management of the hotel where you've got that almost
Yeah,
like Spiritfarer style view of your
yeah,
building.
yeah,
I really like that. I
yeah.
do think the rest of the game is not for me.
Hmm.
And would really annoy me. But I'm a real sucker for that like vertical side on view of a tall
Hmm.
building that you're shoving things onto. There's
Yeah,
something really fun about that, and maybe I
sure.
maybe I just want to play Spiritfarer again. Maybe that's what the
Maybe.
problem is.
Or maybe you want to play, what was that other one? The other Spiritfarer game, I forget. I'll have to find it. It's with like a flamingo pulling your boat. Anyways, I'll find
I
it.
have no idea what you're talking about.
There was a game in here. I'll find it. Don't you worry. Um,
Next, we have Out and About, which may have previously or may still be called Wholesome Out and About. I'm still not sure what its actual name is. Um,
oh, don't you love that when you name confusing? It's great.
uh, they've released a new trailer and said that they've got a playtest coming. So the name on Steam is Out and About, but their title screen still said Wholesome Out and About. And then the playtest says join the Wholesome Out and About playtest. But in the direct, they just called it Out and About. What's the name of this
Okay.
game? What's it
That's
called?
I don't know.
Out and About
Oh,
is okay. It's not a great name, but it's okay.
yeah.
Wholesome Out and About is a bad name.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about this game. I'll be honest, looking at oh yeah, it's the one with that girl's head looks like a mushroom. Like, I'm sorry, it's a crowded market. It's a tough sell, but
it's a photography based game, a
yeah,
foraging photography game.
yeah. I've been thinking about that because obviously there are a handful of photography games because that's cozy or wholesome or whatever. Like,
If you're gonna play a photography game, just play Alba. It is the best. Do
oh,
it.
I was gonna say Snap, but you know what? Alpha's good
Or
too. I'll
Snap.
give you
Yeah,
Alpha.
if you like a Pokemon, then fine. But if you want something that's not Pokemon, Alba is
Yeah,
the one to play. It's incredible.
yeah,
It's
that's fair.
nice sized. It's good. Good game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Cozy Cove. That's the game I was trying to, or Collector's Cove. Excuse me,
Oh
Collector's
yeah, we've
Cove.
got that. We got that later on. We'll get to it. We'll
Okay,
get
I'm
to
just
it.
saying that
That's fine.
Spiritfarer. Okay, all right,
That's
let's go to
fair.
it. Okay, next, let's go to it. All right, what's
Discounty,
next?
uh,
Oh, this one.
Discounty have announced that they launch on the 21st of August. As far as I can see, that's not early access. That's just a release.
Good for you. Discounted. So, look, I believe our views on business management, running a shop, games are established. You're not fond of them. I am. Um, I don't know what to say. Like, I I was kind of I mean, it looked decent, looked good and all, but what was it? Something towards the end when hold on, I'm rewatching the trailers, but I mean, I personally like running a shop, managing inventory and whatnot. Oh yeah, and then you see like a creepy shadow person at the end. All right, now this might caught my attention there at the end.
So
I'm intrigued.
I will say I'm not it's not okay, I do generally dislike shop games, but it's more just because I've never found one that's fun. This
Hmm.
intrigues me in so much as it's not. So what I hate about most shop games is you've got
Hmm.
like you get the stuff and you go to the shop and then people go and go, "Oh, I want to buy this." And you go, "Well, take it then. Go away." And and it's like if you have stuff, they buy it. If you don't have stuff, they don't buy it. And like there's nothing really, maybe there's some haggling, but
Hmm.
not really, and it's just like whatever. Whereas what this is like you're more like taking things from storage and putting them in on the shop floor, and you're like balancing that levels of stock and stuff like that. That is more interesting to me because it's almost like puzzle like, and it's
Yeah,
like you need to make sure that you have everything, and like if you run low on something, you need to go get some more, rather than just
yeah,
being like I have stuff, buy my stuff, right? Like it's like that almost that's just like it's just a shipping bin with more steps. Whereas
sure,
this is like a whole different game. And I
sure.
think that's why this is could be interesting. Whereas every other game that I've had with a shop is just like, let's just make selling stuff more complicated. Right?
Yeah,
Whereas
okay.
this is logistics rather than just like making it slower to sell things.
Hmm. Okay, well, there you go. I'm solely interested. I might. It's very likely, very possible, but we'll see. It's coming out soon, so one way or another, we'll find out. Good stuff, Discounty.
Well, speaking of using a subtitle for a sequel, we have Islanders New Shores, which is the sequel to Islanders.
Excuse me,
Did you
that
play
yawn was
Islanders?
not related. I did not play Islanders. I'm looking at this one. You're just building little islands. That's cute,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically just looks like more of the same,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is good
pretty
because people
much.
liked what they had.
Well, there you go then, Good. Good on you. No one what's good. Am I interested in this? I don't know. Um, some of those islands do get pretty big and
Mhm.
have a lot of stuff, I will say that. But
It's almost like it's like a micro city building game
sure.
based on islands, and but it's almost, I think if I remember correctly, it's like each island is almost a puzzle, and you have to get to not to an end point, but like you have to satisfy criteria, and once you get to that point, you've
Okay.
completed the level.
Okay, that's much more interesting to me because this style of sandboxy creating games, right? Like we had a handful of them in this direct, but like I think of Garden Galaxy, right? I think that's I like when there's criteria to meet, when you can fail or succeed or whatever. That makes it a lot more, a little more puzzle-like than just building a random garden or island or whatever. So that's nice to hear. I will say that it does make me more interested.
All
What
right.
else we got?
Next, we have Collector's Cove.
All right. That's the one. Not a flamingo. I don't know what that is. A flamingo. It's a plesiosaur
Oh, I
story-led
see what you
monster.
mean. Yeah, you're on
Yeah.
a ship that is which is being carried, pulled
Pulled by
by
thing.
a sea
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I
Yeah.
see what you're
There you go. This is the very Spiritfarer looking boat.
farming on a boat.
Yeah, very Spiritfarer looking without, the guests or being the, ferrymen of the dead. I
Yeah.
guess it's not part of it either, as far as I know. That'd be very surprising if it were. Um,
They've announced that they've got a demo out now, so
yeah, it's cute. Is
maybe
it
I'll
enough for
try it.
me? I don't know. I do appreciate the demos, right? That's always strong.
I, I'm
Um,
trying to do that more rather than just go like, this is a vaguely interesting game, let me buy it and then not play it.
yeah,
Instead, I'm trying more to go, let me play the demo and see what I think, and then maybe I'll buy it after that. Um,
yeah. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it does look cute for what it's worth. Like, is it enough for me? I don't know. But the demo, will I try the demo? Maybe, probably. If we do an episode, I'd try the demo. The sea monster's cute. It pulls your ship.
all right, and the final thing that I had on my list, I don't know if there's anything you got
There's a
as well.
handful.
So this one is Town to City, which is build an idyllic 19th century Mediterranean town and help it flourish into a prosperous city. Freely place and customize each element to create the perfect home for your growing population in this cozy city builder from the creators of Station to Station. Oh, is that train game? I think that is a train game that
I
Prey
think
likes.
I saw it. I don't remember. Like it has a weird like cubicle
So yeah,
Minecrafty look to it.
this is what's really interesting about this is it's very much blocky, and
Yeah.
it's not pixelated. It's
Yeah,
very much
no,
high
it's
resolution,
blocky.
but the models are
Yeah, like
blocks.
those Minecraft mods
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like high
with
fidelity
the
Minecraft.
advanced
That's
lighting and
exactly
all
what it
that.
is.
Yeah.
It's I'm not going to play this because everyone knows I hate
Yeah.
management games, but there's
Yeah.
something interesting about this.
Yeah, visually it does stand out, right? Because yeah, like I said somewhat jokingly, but no, I think that's the best descriptor. One of those high-end, high visual fidelity Minecraft mods. Um, but yeah, that's all right. I'm not probably not gonna play it. Like it's fine, but I don't know, just it's no linked or whatever the odd job game was. What was it called? I don't remember. Whatever.
Uh,
Milano.
linked Banner of the Spark.
Yeah,
Or the Odd
yeah,
Job game, Milano's Odd
yeah,
Job collection.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's not one of those. Anyway, so I mean, you're fine, town and city or town to city. I don't know. I'm not fond of that name, but sorry,
It's
I'm not gonna
it,
play it.
it's a name that makes me go, "Ha, that's interesting," but am I ever going to remember it? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's okay. So that's the list you had. I have a few more. I want to just
Go
a
for
quick
it.
few blurbs. Let's see here. What was the first? Oh, I'm surprised you didn't list this one at all. Ambrose Nifiet and the Cleaned Bell.
You're
It's
gonna
like
have to write that down somewhere.
that's a
What is that?
it the way they pitched it, it's like a mystery detective game, but the visual style is like a crafted miniature world,
What was it
like as
called?
in miniatures. Ambrose Niflet or Niflet and the Cleaned Bell.
Ambrose Niflet and the
Yeah,
Gleamed
and the
Bell.
Gleaned Bell. Just thank you.
I don't remember
Um,
seeing this one at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's entirely the visual style because it looks like tiny miniature dolls and
Oh yeah,
a
yeah.
high-end Yoshi's Crafted World looking thing. Very pretty game. But unfortunately it's on Kickstarter, so that's the big asterisk that it may not exist or be completely different when it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um, Let's see here. Oh, here's another one. Let's build a dungeon. I mean, that's just, that is what it is. Like, I love Let's Build a Zoo. Will I try this Let's Build a Dungeon? Probably, but it's a different game, flavor of a game. But
Yeah,
we'll
I mean,
see.
let's be honest, I didn't bring it up because it's not cottage core, but it is
Yep.
related to the podcast and that we've covered Let's Build a Zoo,
Yeah.
so that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, in that subgenre we have covered of nonograms, there's Squeakross.
Yeah.
It's nonograms, but you're building furniture for little mouse rats. Very cute. That's a great name. I will say that. It's just nonograms. What can I say? Um, oh, Big Hops. That's like a platformer with a frog. That was kind of interesting. Oh, Winter Burrow. Again, very not like cottage core wholesome. You're a little rat out in the snowy tundra fighting creepy bugs. It looked cool though. Let's see. I think those are the ones and the big ones. But then at the end, they have this montage that has like twice as many games, and some of those actually caught my eye. Hold on, I'm trying to get through this just to find the names because there's one or two in here that really that did catch my eye. What is it? Llama Landia. You're playing as a llama, just like building a llama town with other llamas. That's a good one. Llama Landia. There's a demo out. Um, you could put a jacket on your llama. That's a fun one. Sorry, like I said, I'm going through this sheepherds. That's a good one. It looks like a co-op. You're a sheepdog and you're herding a bunch of sheep, but you can do it with friends. It looks very entertaining. I don't know, something satisfying about that.
I don't remember that. Where's
Um,
that?
it's in the
Was that in the Wholesome
montage.
Direct? Oh, it was in the
Yeah,
montage. Oh, come on. The
yeah.
montage was like 10 minutes long. You think I was watching a 10-minute long thing of like, here's 5 seconds of a game that you don't care
There's
about?
a
Come
See,
on.
this is what's amusing to me that the montage I think had almost just as many games as the rest of the series.
I think it had
The
more
direct, some of
games.
them were better.
So it's not a useful way to get information about games. I
No,
really
but there's
hate
a
it.
capybara game.
Sure.
That's um what's the one? There's one with the girl with a flower on her head running a florist shop. That one's kind of pretty. What was it called? Hold on. Puny the Florist. That one just looked very pretty. I like that one. Okay, I think I've done. Oh wait, no. A Social Draft. Did you see A Social Giraffe?
No.
Oh. So in it, you're playing this giraffe who's asocial, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like,
A
it's not
point
very
and
clever.
click adventure game about a giraffe
Yeah,
attempting to live his day-to-day life while not talking to anyone. Big mood.
yeah, yeah. That's what it is. And it has a very cute, like distinct art style. It's very cutesy. But the part that got me was just this bit, obviously it's montage, the super quick trailer. There's this part where this giraffe just jumps out a window to avoid talking to someone or like a party or something. That was pretty good. That was a good bit. Okay, I'm done. There you go. There's my montage of comments on other games I saw. Um, Good
All
stuff.
right. Well, that was a lot of news, a lot of things. There were a couple of bits of news that we haven't covered here because they happened
You've
between
been
our last
gone.
episode and this one, and we'll probably talk about them in the next episode. But I knew there was going to be so much news that people would not keep it in their brain if I added any more news. So I think we're done. Thank you, Kevin, for joining me.
Thank you, Al, for having me on. It's good to be back, everyone. We're back. We're back in action.
Where
Um,
where can people find you on the internet?
Find me at Kooparas on the Blue Sky or wherever else, or the Artist Squared if you want to see art stuff. I have not. I've been so busy with work. I have not done a lot of anything. Um, I'd advertise Rainbow Road Radio, but we haven't made an episode in a while, so yeah, it's out there if you want to go see all the older episodes. But anyways, that's what about you, Al? Where do people find you?
You can find the podcast on Tumblr and on Blue Sky at THS Pod. You can send feedback from the website, harvestseason.club, where you can also find links to everything to do with the podcast, including a link to a Patreon, patreon.com/THS Pod. If you want to support the podcast, if you've been supporting a different thing and you are no longer supporting that thing and you want to support something else instead, my Patreon's right there. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you, Kevin, again for joining me.
thank you, Al.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a good
Have a good
harvest.
harvest.
Woo!
Woo.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. And I'm recording locally.
If you hear anything pop up, like in the background, something, let me know, and I'll try to address it.
Okay. You recording?
One sec. As best as I can, it looks like I am. Yes,
I don't know what to say. All
that's
right.
that's the
Three,
best we're gonna get
two,
today.
one, clap.
Clap.
Oh, Kevin, you're always there to stress me out about things. I'm not going to stress though, because it doesn't matter.
I'm I'm stressing about myself, so it's not just you. At least I'm with you in stressing.